All right, welcome to a very quick tutorial on how to replace your black mold accumulator, aka a tub shower combo kit thing. They're not so bad, they just don't go all the way up to the ceiling. If it goes all the way up to the ceiling, you're good, you know how to replace it. But what inevitably happens is, because it doesn't go all the way up to the ceiling, it always gets drenched in these corners. Like you see, I'm zooming in on this kind of corner right here. You see that random texture that's bubbling up? Yeah, that's mold off-gassing, so not good. Now, furthermore, a lot of these things tend to have like these pond scum accumulators. We're not really sure what they do, but they definitely accumulate scum. Those gotta go too. Now, to rip these suckers out, it's very easy. First and foremost, you gotta gain access to the nailing flange. That's what I'm doing here. Yours might be behind the sheetrock, so you gotta cut the sheetrock out in order to gain access to this sucker. Once you do that, you also need to remove like your water handle and your tub spout, because you can't rip this off while that's on. Furthermore, this tub is literally 60 inches wide, and your room is also probably 60 inches wide. So trying to get it out is not gonna happen. You literally just need to cut it in half, like what we're doing here, and remove it in pieces. Little caveat is you definitely want to wear like a gas mask because you're going to be cutting fiberglass most likely. So you don't want to be breathing in like particle-sized fiberglass into your lungs. All right, now that you've got that tub removed piece by piece, we are moving on to cut the water supply lines to our water diverter valve. We'll get to it in a second. Two caveats that I want to mention. Caveat number one, anytime you do like plumbing work in your house, it's a really good idea to make sure your water is turned off to your house. Like if you don't have water shutoff valves, right here, there are no water shutoff valves in this bathroom. We're gonna be adding them here in a second. There are no water shutoff valves, so make sure that the water is just turned off. A, first caveat. B, second caveat is you need to make sure that the new tub that you're replacing your existing tub with, that the drain is in the correct size, okay? Some tubs come with left hand, right hand, or sitter hand drains, and you just make sure you're replacing it to match your plumbing. Now, what I'm doing right here is replacing our drain lines because that's exactly what happened here. The tub that we removed had a center drain, but the one that we bought has a right hand drain. So just kind of be aware of that. Now, what I'm actually doing right here is adding these shutoff valves, these quarter turn shutoff valves to PEX plumbing. We'll show you how to hook up PEX plumbing in a little bit more detail here in a second. If you have the opportunity to add these shutoff valves right here, I highly recommend you do that. Now, the tub is in place. What we're doing is mocking up our new drain lines. And the best way to do that is to just do a dry fit of the tub. It takes about 13 seconds and really trace out where you want your new drain line to be. Now, in order for us to gain access to the drain line, we have to go into the crawl space, and just be prepared, you might have to do this too to rehook up your P-trap. Now, your P-trap is gonna be slightly different than ours, so we're not really showing you that, just because it's really unique to each situation. Now, what's not unique is this right here. So this is a tub drain kit that you get in every big box store. Now, the first three items that we want to find in this drain kit is actually the drain assembly itself, which is made up of like 3 pieces. This piece right here, which has these internal threads, it's like just a 90-degree PVC with internal threads, and those threads receive this metal drain and that black washer, and it just perfectly fits in. The reason you need to find this first is because it's got to be installed first. So just have your friend hold that little plastic PVC underneath the tub, oriented in the direction that you want the water to drain out of, and then have your other friend, aka me, screw that metal fitting on. Be careful not to cross thread. It's really easy to do that because metal is stronger than plastic. Now, once you do that, you can set the tub back in the wall. Make sure it's level. Now, you're gonna wanna come to the other side of the wall. So we actually cut out a little access panel here so that we can finish assembling the drain lines that came, the drain PVC lines that came with that kit. Now, if you've never used PVC glue before, it's really easy. Purple stuff goes on first. and then you put the blue stuff on second, and this is the actual glue that will cement these two PVC pieces together and give them a little twist like you see this guy doing here. That twist really helps activate the primer and glue. Now, sometimes you're not gonna be able to twist it. Like once you actually install it right here, you can't twist it because we're hooking up two pieces together. You just gotta hold it in place till you feel it solid. Now, moving right along to the actual stub out for our tub spout. That's actually kind of a tongue twister. So what I'm setting up here is the actual blocking that we're gonna be using to attach the tub to, and that tub spout right there that I'm holding in my hand. Well, obviously I'm hooking up some PEX to it right now. We'll talk about PEX in a little bit more detail here in about 15 seconds. But that blocking is required for us to attach the stub out. Not only the stub out, but the water diverter valve, or the shower nozzle that actually turns the water on and off while you're inside the shower. We need blocking for that too, and we're about to add it. Now, you really just add blocking at your discretion. Like wherever you need to add blocking, you add the blocking. Now here, obviously we have some horizontal pieces. We're adding a vertical piece so that we can really screw through that nailing flange from that's protruding out of that tub stub out. And you give it a good shake, make sure it's solid, because you never know how many toddlers are gonna be pulling on it. So now we're adding a thinner piece of blocking for our water diverter valve, which is this right here. And again, we'll talk about it a little bit more in detail. Something you need to know is the depth of this water diverter valve. Read the instructions to find out how deep this thing actually needs to sit inside of your wall so that you know where to actually put it. And once again, give it a good shake to make sure it's actually in there. Shims, talking about shims. The shims are gonna come in handy because we literally need them so we don't warp the tub when we fasten it to the wall with these special screws here. Notice that screw head is like a washer built into a Phillips head screw. Also gotta pay homage to the level. Make sure that this tub literally is level, because we're gonna be fastening it to the wall. Nobody wants a cockeyed tub. Now, for starters, take a drill. Everywhere where you wanna fasten that tub to the wall, every 2x4 in the blocking, you need to pre-drill a pilot hole, okay? This is gonna be very important so you don't crack the tub. It's happened and it sucks. Now, in between the wall or the blocking and the tub, you add as many shims as you feel is necessary to snug it up so that as you actually screw through the nail flange of the tub into the wall, you want to screw through those shims so that the tub literally doesn't move, okay? You just want to lock it onto the wall. You don't want to squeeze it onto the wall. And the shims help us not squeeze it to the wall. After you have attached the screw, you can break off the top of the shim if you're able to do that, or you can cut it off with a knife. Now let's talk about PEX. This is the drop ear. This is called a drop ear. This is what your shower head up there is going to be attached to. Okay, so this goes right here. Now we're using PEX and we're using crimp rings. Crimp ring, PEX. Pay no mind to the color of the PEX. It comes in many different colors. The size is what matters.
Size does matter.
Now, you take this part of the drop ear, you shove it in the hole. Now, we have these big pliers. They look like this. This
I think they know how it works.
is gonna go in here, okay? And you gotta squeeze it. Now we're gonna show that this is women friendly. Okay. Make it comfortable for you.
Ready?
Yep.
Squeeze with all your might.
There you go. Yep. Squeeze all the way.
Go ahead. All the way.
All the way. Keep going. Keep going. Yep.
Gets easier as you do it.
Keep going.
Even
all
more.
the way.
More.
Until it doesn't go. It'll pop all by itself. All the way.
It's on there, I think. Yeah, good.
Okay. There you go. Yep. So women can do it.
Mm-hmm.
For all you moms out there wanting to get your plumbing done. So we want to give a special shout out to Anastasia. She's our helper here. She is showing us how to screw in that drop ear to the blocking. Now the drop ear is what the shower head actually screws into. So when we put our final wall panels on, there's going to be a hole cut right there that we can screw our shower head to that directly to that drop ear. Now moving right along, we are actually hooking up PEX to our water diverter valve. Now, if you notice, all of the PEX colors that we're using are red. They come in blue, they also come in white. The color really doesn't matter. It's all PEX B. There's also PEX A. We're not using PEX A, we're using PEX B with crimp rings with the various fittings that we need. You may not need these fittings, it just depends on your unique situation. We just wanted to show you how that is. Now, with everything set and done so far, we have the tub fastened to the wall. We're using the shims, we got the blocking, we have the stub out done, we have the shower valve installed, and up at the top, about 87 inches, I think, how high that is. We have the drop gear installed with the PEX. Now, it's time to incorporate the sheetrock to cover all this stuff up. Now, this sheetrock, it comes in regular board, gray board, which is what we're installing. Now, it also comes in like green board or blue board, more water resistant boards. You can use those if you want, but what we're putting on top of this, you'll see in a second, is like 100% waterproof, so we're not really worried about it getting wet. Now, we're just demonstrating that screw that my partner just screwed into the sheetrock was too deep. If your screws go in too deep, they don't have any good hold. You want the screw to go just barely in to press upon that paper. If you break the paper of the sheetrock, it's worthless. Now, moving right along to the actual panels themselves, these are paper thin panel kits that you can get from any big box store that can be cut literally with like your average run-of-the-mill garden shears, with like literally what we're demonstrating right here. Most of these panels come in the same sizes and dimensions because most tubs are the same size and dimensions. And this, as we're demonstrating, can be cut just with a pair of scissors. Now, this is important. This is Loctite. This is a specific glue designed for wall panels. And we're gonna apply that glue and spread it out with that trowel right there. That is a 1/8 of an inch trowel. So like this glue is really, really tacky. It doesn't just like squish, you know, so we're gonna be applying this panel here soon. But you'll find out that if you don't just kind of trowel this out with that 1/8 of an inch trowel, your paneling is going to be a little bit wavy, so you don't want to do that. So flatten it out first with this trowel. It creates the grooves, and you'll find that you can smear the glue much easier after you actually trowel it out. And also, you don't have to, it doesn't really matter if you go up, down, left, right with the trowel. Now, technically, if we were installing tile, it would matter because you actually have to use directional troweling per specific piece of tile that you're using. But since we're not putting tile and we're only using the trowel to make this glue more manageable, just have at it and do whatever you want. You can even use your fingers if you want, for all I care. Anyway, moving right along to actually installing the panel itself. Now, if you notice, maybe you didn't notice, but if you notice, we're installing this panel from the bottom up. Now, you can also do it from the ceiling down to the top of the tub. What matters is you go either up, down, or down, up. You want all the air to go in the same direction, and gluing it to the wall, the air needs to go somewhere. You don't want it to go in every direction. You only want it to go in one direction. I hope that was understandable. As far as the corner panels, there is a left-hand side and there is a right-hand side. Don't confuse them. Furthermore, the place where you actually apply the Loctite to these corner panels are only in the most obvious flat spaces. And you'll see, when you install the panels, you'll see what we're talking about. Now, these panels are not going to snap into the corners, but they are gonna lock into the corners pretty effortlessly. Moving right along to caulk. Well, actually, we're not talking about caulk here. This is silicone. Very important point. Once you have all the panels installed, you do not want to caulk these panels together. You have to silicone these panels together. Now, in case you've never used silicone before, and yes, it is different than caulk, silicone is 100% waterproof, and it comes in many different colors. You can use clear, you can use white, you can use pretty much whatever you want. We are using white silicone here, so it just effortlessly melts into these panels. Now, we're also doing a lot more work to this bathroom than just the new shower tub combo install from the floor to the ceiling. We're also adding some crown molding. We're doing sheetrock work, We are adding some wainscoting, some quarter round, a new toilet, new vanity, etc. You're about to see the before and after. Here's the before, and you're about to see the after. I just wanted you to understand that it's the same room. So here you go. Cheers. Take a look at it. Let us know what you think.
God damn it! That ain't what I fucking wanted to do.
Now look here, Don Juan Julio. That's gonna come out of your rock side right there. I said remove it by unscrewing that.
That's goner, man. That rock is gone, boy.
That's gonna add a whole 2 extra days to the job. God damn it, Don Juan Julio.
Hey, now we have a use for that extra sheetrock.